Hey everyone, I just wanted to walk you through the new changes in this new release so that you're set up for success. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is multi-day events and or commitments. So as you know, when you journal something, not everything can be done in one day. Let's say that you work at a remote company and you do a lot of asynchronous check-ins. Those might span 2 or 3 days, and you don't want to have to keep editing an event, or there wasn't a solution for it with the last version. So now you will be able to start an event, leave it in progress, create a follow-up, and then continue to change it and add to it as the event progresses. So let's walk you through that. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at the demo database that each of us has access to. I'm going to move this down here so that it's out of the way. All right, so let's think of somebody that we don't have a plan for, and let's create a plan for them. All right, so here's Haley. You can see that we can either make a commitment to her or for her, or we can schedule a plan, schedule an event. These are both of the things that before um, was only your only option was to create a plan, but now your plan is either making a commitment for her or scheduling an event. So let's go ahead and schedule an event. All right, and we're going to say Slack DM, Slack DM. And this is going to happen over a few days. So let's start it today. Let's create a multi-day event. And let's say that it's going to finish on Tuesday. And this is like our weekly one-on-one basically with her. So let's call that weekly. It's going to start today and let's save. So now if we go to Haley, we can see that it's due today. I need to journal about this. And let's go ahead and close out her inspector window. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is click on follow up. I'm going to follow up tomorrow, and that's what's going to make it in progress. All right, so I'm going to say DM'd Haley about Project Gravy. Yep. I don't have any sentiment or reaction yet because, I just kind of DM'd her and that was about it. All right, so let's save it. And so now we can see that it now shows up in our upcomings. So the first thing I want to point out is that this icon, the two people, that's a connection. You're connecting with another person, as opposed to this one right here, which is a commitment. That's a target icon, and that's what we're using for commitments. So that's not that. All right. So you will see either of those right here next to your event name, or your action name rather. All right, so this icon right here is your follow-up icon, and that means that the next time you want to follow up is tomorrow. And then this was here before, that just means it's a recurrence. All right, so now when we go in here, we're going to see our status, or our what we've put in there so far. DM'd Haley about Project Gravy. It spans from September 5th to September 9th. It's recurring, and my follow-up is tomorrow. Well, let's pretend that it's tomorrow, or maybe she DM'd me early. And I can put a follow-up comment in there whenever I want. So I can say, Haley responded with concerns about Team Biscuits. And you can make this as lengthy as you want. Let's just say that Alex, who is the first person user in this example, is a little concerned. So he might say, I'm feeling a little worried about Haley's um, ability to get Team Biscuits on board. Um, let's see how this pans out. And, she might still DM us back. So let's just keep it open for one more day and save. And so now it's still in our upcomings. And let's continue journaling. Let's say that it's the next day. She responded back. Oh, I guess that was her response. Well, whatever. let's say we decided to have a meeting with Team Biscuits manager. And then let's say I'm not really sure how this is going to go after all. So, um, eager to hear from, I don't know, Sarah, the Team Biscuits manager. And let's save that, and that's done. Oh, so now I was like, why is it still there? This is the next week one. So we completed that other one. That journal is here. It's neutral, so she's just going to have a gray circle around her. We don't know what our sentiment trend for Haley is just yet. We need more data. All right, so that's our first use case. The next thing we want to talk about is when you have no one to put into a group yet. So if you'll recall, we really encourage there to be at least one person in each of these groups. You want someone to guide, someone to partner with, someone to align with, and someone to network with. But, we're realistic. Sometimes that just isn't the case. And so let's create a new workspace and let's just call it, I don't know, let's call it the Boulder Tech Community. Let's say that I'm creating a new workspace with people that I meet in the Boulder Tech area, and I don't know anybody that, needs mentorship yet or anything like that. And so that'll be our example. Okay, so when you onboard, you can see that you've got all these tasks for creating your groups, basically. So let's go to my guide group. And I'm not ready to identify any members yet because, like I said, I don't know anybody. But I'm gonna really try because we at People Work do believe that you can maximize your growth potential, etc., if you are seeking to guide people and bring people up along with you. I think it's great for personal growth, leadership ability, etc. And so let's go ahead and make a commitment. Let's just say that there's a conference in January and there's going to be a lot of juniors and new grads there. And maybe I'll meet somebody that we kick off a mentorship relationship or something like that. So I'm going to say reassess after January conference. And I don't really want to think about it until then because, I don't think anything's going to happen between now and then. So I'm not going to make it multiple days. I'm going to make it a one-time thing and I'm going to make it for, let's say February 1st. And it's not going to be repeating. So I'm not going to hear about this until February 1st. Save. All right, so now it's in my upcoming in 4 months, but don't worry, this is not always going to be at the top of the list. It's going to go in order. So whatever's more recent is going to be in the upcoming. And that's that. You are done. You don't have to think about it until then. You've made a commitment to reassess that relationship later, your relationship with the group later, and you're good. All right, cool. So that is an example of making a commitment to a group. And so another way that you could relate to a group in this way is making a commitment to the group as, there are people in it. So let's go back to our demo database, our WinCorp organization. And let's say that, you want to have a team offsite for your guides or for your people that are in your guide group that you're guiding. And you are going to commit to them to plan an offsite by the end of the year. So you can either click up here on the icon to make a commitment, or you can, oh no, that's the only way you can. Okay, sorry about that. I thought you could right click on it. All right, so we're going to say plan an offsite. And we're going to do that by December 31st. But you do want to be reminded about it because planning an offsite takes time and takes a lot of planning and thinking about it. And so I just actually made the end. I said the start date was going to be the first, but I actually want to start on it. Let's say I want to start on it October 1st. So October 1st to the end of the year, I'm going to plan it. This is not going to be a repeating thing. This is a one-time thing, but I do want to be reminded about it on the start date. So I'm going to save it and we can see that in 3 weeks, I'm going to be reminded about this. And then same journaling concept applies, same workflow applies. I can do follow-ups, let's say follow up in 2 months. I don't know, pick a place. Um, Pick a place and get group buy-in. And then save. All right, so now I'm going to be reminded on November 5th. And that's that. That's how I can make a commitment to a group. All right, so now we want to talk about commitments and promises to and from other people. So when you're making a commitment to a group, the commitment is always yours to them, right? But when I am making, if you look at this here, you'll notice that something is missing. The owner of the commitment. That's because it defaults to you, the user, being the owner. However, let's say that Tara is leading a big project and I'm her manager. I'm Alex, her manager, and I'm tracking that commitment that she has made. So let's go ahead. I told you you can click here or you can right swipe on Tara's contact and click there, or you can right click and do make a commitment. So notice owner. So Tara has said that she's going to deliver Project Gravy, the same project that Haley is working on. And this is their commitment. This is Tara's commitment. And she is starting it now. And her commitment is going to be through November, let's say. So she is committing to deliver this project by the end of November. It's multiple days. It doesn't repeat, it's a one-time thing, and we're going to save that. So now I'm going to check in on Tara. Let's hide that. Um, let's say week 1 progress. Tara created an RFC for review. All right. So let's go ahead and say that I'm going to check back in next week because we meet about it once a week. So save. All right. So this is in 3 days, September 8th. Oh, maybe because I started. Oh, next week. It's the Monday. I get it. Okay. All right. So we're going to continue journaling. And that was a little weird. I'm going to admit that. Week 2 progress. Tara still needs approval from Team Biscuits, her stakeholders, holders. And we're going to say it's going well. Tara is leading well. And we are going, so remember, if we just click save right now without a follow-up, it says it thinks we're finished. But we are going to follow up and we're going to say in another week. Next week. Oh, but remember, these dates are relative to today. And so it won't be like a week from the start date. It'll still just be a week from today. But anyway, it works for the example. Let's save. And then eventually we'll finish and that'll be that. All right. I believe that is all of the scenarios that we wanted to cover. As always, if you have any issues with this, if there's any questions that you have about how to use it, please reach out on Slack or email us at contact@hedgeops.com. That's hedge, HEDGE -ops.com. And yeah, we hope you enjoy it and we hope you are able to find a lot more use out of the app because of it. We think you will. All right, thanks so much. Bye.